son's house.
To go.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Show right here at the CACTV on channel 416 More Place. We're having a look at the newspaper stories that made the front pages on the national dailies, and we were looking at the Nation newspaper. Please let's start Oliver from the Nation newspaper. Okay, we have troops seize 21 million liters, 210 metric tons of stolen crude. Discos gets marching order on power supply. Regulators takes hard stance. Rumples in PDP over caretaker committees in state councils. Lagos MOT men brutalized the Nation drivers in pound vans. All that on page 4 and page 25 of the Nation newspaper. Let's have a look now at page 3 on the Nation newspaper. Police applicants for medical screening. Okay, that's on page 3. EFCC to array Bobrisky for abuse of the Naira. Ayedatiwa, Jimo, Akinteriwa, Kekeneke, others submit forms. So many things going on right now in different states in Nigeria. Tinubu, economy on growth path. Inflation to go down. We can't wait, Mr. President. Please, inflation has to go down. Borrowing was higher a year ago, but today revenue is rising. Borrowing was higher a year ago, but today revenue is rising. We do hope, from all the savings that has been made from the subsidy removal, all the trillions of naira that have been added to revenue allocation to states, to local governments, to even the federal government itself. We do hope all these monies are being used judiciously. Alright, let's have a look at another story on the front page of the Nation newspaper. NIMET wants Nigerians to brace for heat stress. Oh, yesterday. Yesterday.
I say stop calling me Toke.
Sorry, Toke. Okay, let's move on to page 28 on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Binance chief's trial stalled. The FIRS, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, has alleged that EFCC is stalling this trial on the Binance chief. But that's what we can take on the front page on the Nation newspaper.
And on the Guardian newspaper, legacy of international tourneys. How hosting mega events failed to catalyze infrastructural development. And here we have slain soldiers, arms, ammunition in Oklahoma still missing, military says. So they were with arms on that particular day. It is well. 41 killed, 222 kidnapped, 88 million naira ransom paid in Kaduna. Niger group laments. Naira firms as CBN auctions 652 billion Omo bills at 21%. Electricity tariff hike is crosshairs as opposition intensifies. Tinubu tax ECOWAS Parliament on unity-backed direct elections. Tinubu tax ECOWAS Parliament on unity backs direct election. Police ignore court order on remand of Lagos businessman. Moving further, we have Mo Abudu joins International Emis board, vows to champion African stories. And Multicom, police ignore court order on remand of Lagos businessman. Moving forward on the Guardian, Navy arrests 14 oil thieves, seizes over 210 metric tons of crude oil. You find that story on the Guardian newspaper. And the last paper for today is Nigerian Tribune.
Alright, let's have a look now at the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Fubara rejects list of Rivers PDP caretaker committee, says it favors Wike's camp. A lot of political drama going on right now in Rivers State. Expectations high over Olubadan designate may be seen today. Ibadan elders CC to meet Ladoja other kingmakers. Alright, let's have a look at another story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Electricity tariff. Senate to wade in as NEC knocks federal government. Consumer Protection Forum gives NARC, that is the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, 72 hours to revert hike. We do hope that is possible because there are a lot of money being owed to the power sector. Igboho sues Gani Adams over alleged defamation, demands 500 million naira in damages. AFCC to array Bobrisky for alleged currency abuse. UCH resident doctors not part of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. working condition, says presidency. Ondo 2024, APC should not be polarized. Party chairman warns. Jimo Ibrahim says, I am ready.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned on the CHR Breakfast Show. Today on the show we want to discuss how one can actually save him or herself against every psychological and emotional trauma going on the social media space. How do you cope? What standard do you place, disciplinary standard do you place on yourself on things, contents that you see on the social media space? Do you actually scroll through? Are there some things you don't want to see because of your health and your mental status? Is there anything that you think should not be allowed? Because most times when government comes out to talk about social media regulations, regulating the social media and all, a lot of people fumes at that statement. They don't like it. But the truth is that we cannot be shy to say that social media is causing a lot of harm just as it is helping a lot of business as well. So our topic today is how do you protect yourself against psychological and emotional trauma on the internet. And on this note, we actually cannot but talk about some random issues that is happening lately on the internet. One of those stories is Mohbad's case. That case I really do not want to discuss sincerely, because from the beginning it was indeed an emotional case. Hearing that a young up and coming artist, in fact he has gone past the stage of up and coming, because most of his tracks were on a A list. People will always listen, even though some people don't really know his face. His music was out there. So it was indeed a shock to a lot of Nigerians. I for one, I was really shocked when I heard it. But as this case progressed to seeing people that were actually bullying him, people who bullied him to death, the story of him having becoming hypertensive at 27 before his demise, and then seeing the likes of VDM coming to talk about DNA, and then there was catastrophe. And up till today, DNA has been the issue why Nigeria couldn't get justice to that boy's death. But talking about justice now, justice is with the police to decide. They are already working. There was a time they said they were going to give autopsy in 4 days, about 3 weeks ago or so, but we didn't get any autopsy from them. But I believe that they are on top of the matter, and that is why I would not even want to dwell on that. But in the case of the DNA, a lot of bloggers have become assistant barristers and chief justice on this case. And the thing is, what we don't know as a person or as a people is that this is actually taking toll in the lives of people. There are men who would not even want to trust their wives again. Gradually, because of Mohbad and Wunmi's DNA issue, they have started doing same to the gospel singer Mercy Chinwo, saying that her son looks like Nathaniel Bassey. You know, a lot of things. Where do we draw the line? How do we call people? At least you seeing people on social media because they are influencers, because they are personal. Okay, let me say they are celebrities. Does not mean that you know everything about them. So you don't have the right to talk like you have them in your house, like you live together. Please, what's your take to these stories making rounds on the social media space?
Your last statement clarifies it all. Because we are all on social media doesn't mean everybody is in your house and you can talk to them and say whatever you want to say. Let's start from the Mohbad issue you raised. May his gentle soul keep resting in peace.
Amen.
First of all, let's start from there. Now, on the DNA issue, DNA has been something that has been, happening around Nigeria. We've heard a lot of cases of men that have trained children that after years they get to realize that the children does not belong to them.
Exactly.
We've had so many instances like that. We ever heard of when the government came out to say they were considering making DNA test a priority or compulsory, making it compulsory. And a lot of persons were clamoring, oh, why would you do that? This is where we are going at now on this particular issue, is how social media has become a den where people feel you can just say whatever you want to say. Yes, there is freedom of speech, but that doesn't mean you just have to open your mouth and say a lot of things.
What happens after your freedom of speech?
After your freedom of speech is a freedom guaranteed.
Exactly. After giving that.
But this is where I'm coming at now. Social media, like you said earlier, has done a lot of harm, even as it has done a lot of good as well. It has its own benefits. But this is one thing that I always tell people. If you're going to have your life, if you're going to have your business, if you're going to have your career, if you're going to have your family, if you're going to have your home, these are things that people post on social media.
Of course.
Be ready for anything. This is not me supporting people that go on social media and make defamatory statements, abuse people's livelihood and all of that, like the Mercy Chinwo's matter you made mention of now. You castigate people's career, you injure people's reputation, you affect negatively people's social standard in the society. Social media has given a lot of room to that. I think where we should be looking at now, like you said, how do people protect themselves from all this abuse online. If you ask me personally, since you're already asking me, one thing that I do is my social media space is my resume. whatever I post on social media is what I do professionally. If you want to discuss anything that has to do with me on social media, it has to be business related. And there's one thing I've come to realize on social media. Social media algorithm, it gives you what you want to see.
Of course.
If you're the kind of person that is interested in issues that, are business minded, that is what you will get. If you're interested in issues if you're interested in other people's affairs, what is happening in these celebrities' life, celebrity gist, celebrity gossip, that is what social media will give to you. So we have, if you check my social media pages now, if you check the kind of things that are on my feed, there are things that are professional, there are things that relate to me. Yes, I take out time once in a while to look at, okay, what's happening in this people I follow, what is happening in their space. The reason why I follow things that happen in their space is to see, oh, this is the next project this person is on, this is how this person is handling the project. I learn from that. But going forward, you want to know what this person eats in the morning for breakfast, what this person eats for lunch. You have people that once you start doing all of that, of course you should be ready for anything. That is one thing I need to tell people. Once you are ready to start posting anything that has to do with your life, or you got engaged today, nobody is saying don't post all that. You can celebrate your engagement, you can celebrate your business deals, but what I'm saying is, once you are coming into the public space, because that's what social media is.
Yes,
it is
it's
the public space. Once you are
that
coming into
information leaves you
get ready,
and gets to the social media space,
get ready for whatever is going to come out of it. That is one thing. But I'm really enjoying what is going on right now with Mercy Chinwo and her husband, Blessed, and Nathaniel Bassi. I really like the steps that they are taking. Nathaniel Bassi petitioned the IGP, Kayode Egbetokun, and the husband, the magistrate court in Abuja currently has summoned those persons that made those statements on social media and in regards to Mercy Chinwo's child. This is to tell you that there are things you should not say on social media. You can't go on social media and start alleging, things like that. Besides, these persons are in the public space. There are people that they are artists, musicians that have lost endorsement deals because of what someone allegedly said about them. So that.
Currently, there are a lot of stories, like some of the stories that we have mentioned, and you have been able to tell us now that whatever you post, if you want to guide your sanity, if you are going to protect yourself against emotional trauma and psychological issues, first of all, be conscious of what you post. Your post is what gives you out to people. To me, secondly, of course, know what you post out there, know what the amount of information you give out. Secondly, validation. Do you know that a lot of people, maybe out of inferiority complex or something, they want validation from their fans, and because of you want people to validate you, you start doing some things that is out of your strength and capacity.
That you won't do on a normal day.
A thing that you will not do on your own, on a normal note, because you're looking for likes, followers. These are the things that will later in turn haunt you. So if you are actually concerned, you are very conscious about your emotional stability, your psychological stability, just know that whatever you post out there concerns the public. Once it leaves you, it's no longer your post, because you have put it there for the whole world to see, comment, and like. So be expecting anything. So whatever you post, please make sure. It's just that at times we post some things that we actually have a perspective at the time of posting that thing, but there are people who would even see beyond, or even want to make mischief out of what you have. People who build ills out of nothing. People, you understand?
Yeah.
And at the time they come to your space to comment, another thing you should do, if you really want to curb this menace on your own space, know how to deal with such people. Because when VDM started that DNA thing, if Nigerians didn't dance to it, you know, Tunde Not was going to do something to that case from the beginning, but a lot of people bashed him that don't say this. We know about the bully. We have seen videos. If they have done same to the DNA issues that VDM raised, by now that case would be a solid case for both music industries and how people treat each other in Nigeria. You understand? But because a lot of Nigeria tends to follow the DNA narrative, that case is a mess already. Therefore, if you are going to put out anything out there, make sure you are ready for anything that comes for it and know how to deal with truth. Another way to curb the menace. Another way to treat your to make sure you are guiding your sanity, your mental health.
One more thing that I feel people really need to work on is the kind of content that they consume.
Exactly.
The kind of content. Yes, social media is for fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually created for fun, entertainment, leisure.
Of course.
But now it has moved beyond all of that.
It has gone beyond that.
It has moved beyond all of that. It's no longer for fun, just for fun. It's no longer just for entertainment. People are making loads of money off social media.
And therefore, because of the money they are making, a lot of people have become desperate.
That is one thing. Now, where I'm coming at is this. Personally, I still consider social media as not a real place.
Of course, it has never been a real place.
There are people that look at social. There are people that live. I mean, I'm not. This is not me exaggerating.
Of course,
there are people that live on social media.
They live and sleep there.
They live and sleep on social media. Their life is on social media. They want to know the next thing that's happening in this person's life. They want to know the next gossip on this celebrity, the next thing, and then they read and you check their own life in the real world physically now, not online now. Offline, they don't really have a lot going on. You understand? I feel one thing that I've noticed a lot of professionals that use social media for their businesses, one thing I've noticed a lot of them do is they take breaks. You hear them saying things that I'm going on a social media retreat. They go off social media
and they relax their brains,
and they relax. Maybe they read a book, go to the beach, connect back with life. I feel if people can have all of that, if people can incorporate that, sometimes take a break off social media. That I give myself time. Personally, I give myself. There's every day. There are times in between the day that I will look at my schedule and I think I've dwelled too much on social media today. Let me just go off. I just turn off my phone. I just keep my phone. I'm just look outside. Look at the sky. See the birds. People don't appreciate life as it is now because social media, everything is on social media. You want to see everything is online now. You want to see how beautiful a bird can fly. You go on YouTube. You go when you can actually look at the sky
and get it live and direct.
See, I really feel people need to learn to help your mental health, and it will help you a lot. Also, you need to, like I was saying earlier on talking about social media algorithm, the kind of things you like, the kind of things you comment on, the kind of things you take your time to view, the kind of things. Some persons you go to take for example their TikTok page, all you see on their TikTok page is girls that are dancing, boys that are dancing, everybody that is doing one TikTok challenge or the other. Still that same TikTok, you go on some person's TikTok pages and you're saying how to make money, how to make TikTok work for you, how to cook. There are different things, there are educational things, inspirational things, and motivational things that you can learn from. If you keep on watching things like that, that is what the algorithm is going to be giving to you.
Exactly.
That's what it's going to be giving to you.
Exactly.
But if you keep on watching, you're looking out for the next gossip, you're looking out for the next. What is this blog saying? What's that? It will just keep. It will just come up. It just keep coming at you, whether you request for it or not. So you need to caution and you need to checkmate the kind of things you watch on social media, and most importantly, always go on retreats. Go on a social media break. It's very important.
Very key, because the industries, whatever you see as drama to you, whatever you see as gossip to you is money to them. That's one thing you as a person should do.
Exactly.
But even if they are fighting, they are quarreling, it's money to them, because most of them have their page monetized. So the more the traffic, the more money they make. That's what you are not making money. The only thing you do is to go help them make money by causing trouble. The lady that Eniola Badmus arrested sometime last year, she was pardoned and bail on. She was given bail and all. Recently, I saw her post again a video where she made she said why it's easy for some people like Eniola Badmus. She still called her name, and yesterday I saw it on the internet that she has been arrested, rearrested, and has been jailed for 3 years. You understand? See, what you give is what you get. You can actually plan your own space. These celebrities, they didn't just start on one day. They started gradually, and they started building their career, putting in a lot of work to make you see what you're seeing today. So you as a person, please choose what you post, choose what you see on the social media space. Learn how to deal with trolls. There was a time during the campaign, oh, no wonder your page is dry. I say thank you for bringing water, and I block that person instantly. You understand? People should learn to know how to deal with troll, and make sure you are not a troll yourself. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to comment on everything, because what you don't even know might come out to haunt you. You might just chip in a word, and that word you were not even expecting a like. The comment later got like 1,000 likes, and a lot of people might not even be aligning with what you have said, and from there you incur battle that you were not ready for. So these are the things that I think that people should look out for to keep our sanity in check.
Awesome. Another one I really think people should also consider on this same social media issue is, you see, social media has a lot of what I like to call noise.
Too much noise.
And one thing about
That's
life,
the reasoning.
one thing about life in general is that what you feed grows.
Exactly.
What you feed grows.
Exactly.
You keep on feeding the gossips. Because whenever someone, like you said now, these bloggers that post some things, and these trolls that come to comment some very annoying things on social media, it's because they know that there is 1 or 2 or 3 persons that would support that thing.
Exactly. And do you know that some of these bloggers, they have what is it called, fake pages? They will still comment on it by themselves to cause traffic. They are making money.
There's something I learned from Sam Adeyemi. You know, he also posts some things online as well. I really learned a lot from his page. In one of his interviews, he said someone gave a bad comment on his post, and he looked at it. He had all the intention to respond, but then he thought of it, and he was like, if I respond this person, I'm giving this person energy.
Yes, and popularity.
You understand? I'm giving person energy, I'm giving person a voice to keep on speaking and saying whatever. So he just ignored and watched. When he ignored, he noticed the thing did not even continue. Nobody even. It just looked at, okay, it's a normal day for people to comment, and everybody moved on. That's one thing about social media.
Exactly.
In as much as the internet never forgets, what the internet would not remember that thing that person said.
Exactly.
The internet will remember how you responded. So it's one thing people need to look at. There's a lot of noise on social media that you need to, tune off. You need to be able to be a witness. Okay, don't be part of the noise. Don't be part of whatever is happening. Don't be part of the commotion.
Of course.
Go back, take a step back, be a witness. See how it is unfolding. See how everything is playing out, and then make your own stand. Not based off of what someone is saying or what another person is saying, but on your own, conviction, your own perspective. This is what I want people. This is how I want people to see me as, and this is what I want people to say about me.
Okay, at this juncture, do you think the government should regulate social media?
No, it will be for me, if the government starts regulating social media, it is a dent on our freedom of speech. In as much as there are a lot of persons have taken freedom of speech for granted, we have laws backing those things. When you say something that is defamatory to someone's character, something that is damaging to someone's character, you can be sued for defamation.
But to me, I think I want to differ on that.
I really don't agree that federal government should regulate social media.
I want to differ on that because a lot of country actually has already regulated their own social media space. A country like Korea and the Chinese.
Look at the countries you mentioned.
Of course, when you go to most of their pages, you can only see things about how they build their nation, talents, skills here and there. You understand?
Okay.
Please let me finish.
Good, I'm saying okay.
Then you see things that will inspire you. That being said, most times we don't get to see the basketballs that. When I say regulation, if it's possible that we alone can only see these basketballs on our own side, I will tell you the reason why I'm saying this. And then most of the good content. Have you been on LinkedIn before? You just have to be here to be on LinkedIn. You can see all these basketballs on LinkedIn because you have to be calm and then do some things.
LinkedIn has its own problem, but let's not talk about that.
There might be problem, but you have to be sound. You have to be sound to belong.
Not everybody on
LinkedIn is sound, but most of the content you have to be sound. Most of the content you have to be sound. You can't go on LinkedIn and start doing mobile. No, you can't.
LinkedIn is a professional.
It's a professional space.
It's strictly business.
Strictly business, and for you to come, you must have achieved some things, or you are willing to be mentored or get some stance. But that is actually not where I am going to. But what I'm trying to say is that if government can actually regulate some of those content, especially the area of content, so that our image as a nation, we can actually uplift it a little when other people see us. There was a video I saw, a white man. There was a question like, which country should you not even try to argue or go have a wrong post with? Do you know what the man said? Nigeria. He said, Nigerians, if you argue with them, you're on your own. You do this, and he was just saying it. The only person that can argue with a Nigerian is another Nigerian. Do you understand?
That is a very applaudable achievement for us as a nation.
Hold on. On another light,
okay.
There are videos of our youth that were actually going through commentaries like the countries that are involved in fraud. They were there watching Nigeria number Nigeria. They were so happy. I'm like, are you all right? This is derogatory. This is not even something we are supposed to be happy about. That is why I, for one, will agree with the government that on the basis of content, there are some content that I think should not even fly. So if there is regulation in that aspect, it's not like, and then the aspect of tax again. A lot of people are making money. There are some things that we want to do, like the whites. We want to copy and do everything, imitate them in everything. But when it comes to the side of taxation, things that their government is very intentional about, that they get and use it to build their own nation, Nigerians don't care. Because when government start talking about you make millions of naira on your content on Instagram and other social media platforms, and you are not paying tax, how do you want to explain that? People will start raising brows. Of course, it's a normal thing. To me, on that part of content and tax, I think that there should be a regulation, and it should be a moderate one.
Nigerians pay tax. The money you make from social media, don't you spend it here in Nigeria?
We spend it in Nigeria.
The money that you make from social media, when the money gets credited into your bank account.
But then, I am not saying they should overtax but maybe this will put things in check. That is where I'm coming from, that if we have regulations that will border around what people should do and what people should not do on social media space, we might have. Do you know how this validation of a thing is killing youths?
This is where I'm coming at now on this tax matter. Not really on the tax matter. I do not want to.
Not based on the tax matter.
I don't want to even discuss.
I am not a tax analyst. I am a taxation
on social media. No, taxation and social media. That's what I'm talking about.
Of
like
course.
Taxing content on social media. I don't want because I do not support it.
Okay.
But anyway, let's move on. Where I'm coming at, because our time is fast spent. Where I'm coming at is that regulating social media would affect a lot. Number one, it affects freedom. Social media is meant to be free. It's just like we have our constitution backing our freedom of speech. Of course, you can say whatever you want to say.
Why do you think
But
that?
we also have the parts of our constitution that also hammers on the kind of things you say. Yes, there's freedom of speech, but that doesn't give you the leverage and the liberty to come and say whatever you want to say.
Because you can be arrested
and affecting someone's that will affect someone that negatively. That's just how I feel. That is what social media should look into.
And you don't think that there should be regulation on content?
It should. When you say regulation, it means you're coming to say giving the federal government the upper hand to control what is going on, what goes on social media.
In terms of content.
I think we should look at is anybody can post anything that they want to post on social media.
Okay.
At the end of the day, you should know that you are going to face the consequences.
But do you know?
You have to post. This is because if you start giving, you and I know the kind of federal governments we have. You and I know the kind of. You mentioned some states, you mentioned some countries, you mentioned Korea, you mentioned China. Do you know that there are a lot of things going on in these countries that are against human rights?
Of course.
The fundamental, universal human rights. But we don't get to see these things. Why? Because social media is being regulated by the government. So, because social media, the internet, in fact, social media generally is the internet.
Of course.
Whatever you want to see now, if you want to know what is going on right presently now in America, you go on social media.
On social media, you know the pages to check, you know the sites to go.
You see all that. But in our constitution,
when you want to regulate something, to the best of my knowledge, it's not like you are taking total rights away from people who have been in a space or who are actually doing something. You are only coming to sensitize it, like, okay, this is what we are taking out, this is what we want. Then it's going to be, you can't take out something from a sector without meeting the stakeholders. So it's going to be a round table thing. I have a reason why I'm saying this. There are a lot of underage on the social media space because we don't have backings and regulations on some things. There was a girl that was the mother accused the boarding school that her daughter was raped. On the course of investigation, people brought out her videos on one site. A 12-year or 10-year-old girl at that time. You understand? This is where I'm coming from. That content, in terms of content, you understand that at least there should be some things that should go out. But that does not mean that the government is taking all their right. They will be in that meeting. Of course, there will be some levels of conversation before the regulation is made to sanitize our community. A lot of things is happening. I cannot lie to you. I have limitations to what I can say right now. But the truth is that to 99% crime that we have in Nigeria, go and check validation on social media space. And what's it called? When you intimidate, some people feel intimidated that their mate is doing this. That being said, it's about you. You cannot say because you are not rich, you don't want me to post my rich stuff. You understand? That is why we are treating this topic, that people should learn. If you know you cannot deal with, some people don't like competition. We do the same work. When I see you, you are good, I appreciate you. Some other persons might come and they feel like you are a threat to them because they believe that you are good. But why some people will appreciate to take you with all hands? People who does not like competition are not fit to be in the midst of people, because at the end of the day, you have competition. So this is why I think that regulation should come up, so that at least if you know that my brain cannot carry this voice on TikTok or every time they are posting money, you go to another board that you know you can actually see. So there should be options. You understand? I believe that with this, God will help our country and every other thing. We mean well.
But one thing. We
want people to have their sanity in check. That's why we have this topic.
Well, you know that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sometime last month met with the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and Meta.
Yeah.
And there, of course, there are some discussions.
Of course.
And I believe fully well that these companies, these social media companies, are working a lot to
They even made a promise
that,
on the content of Nigeria.
to ensure that there are things that, you know, they are able to regulate. Take for example, these social media companies are now, you know, hammering harder on criminal issues that go on social media.
They will remove some of your content and say this, that.
There are a lot of things that are being placed right now from the social media companies. But where we are hammering on today on today's program is for you, a lovely viewer, that protect your mental health,
it's
protect your sanity. It is very, very important. We care about you, and you should care about yourself as well.
Exactly.
Your mental health is very crucial to your moving forward in life.
And don't forget, everything you see on the social media space is not real. They are just there in the space. Some are not even alive at all. So the less you see, the more you see, the less you know. And on this note, we're calling it a day on the CA Channel's Breakfast Show. I am Toke Bravo. I'll see you Monday by God's grace.
And I am Peace Magigi. Do have yourself a lovely, lovely weekend.
It's a bye-bye from us.
Bye-bye.
That is very, very, very wrong. As we have been saying, those of us who know what it means for a woman to leave her home and come to join another person and decide that we want to make a home together, she must have worked very well. And we should try and understand that women coming from other places, they did not drop from heaven. They were born by some other people. It is very wrong for the woman to say the sister-in-law to that woman is the owner of that house. She has missed it.
And she's just a wife.
She has just missed it. She didn't get her bearing at all. That is the mother-in-law. And for the wife, I have said it.
Yeah.
She just has to take it easy. With that type of people, and should be praying, because when things like this happens, it's now left for the husband to know what's supposed to be done. Actually, in a house of someone who is disciplined, in a matured matrimony, a matured marriage, if anyone comes to visit, that person should not try and become a liability to your host. You are just a guest. You are not living there. If you come there, you should not go there to disturb them. As a woman, even if you senior that wife
in age,
you should know that you're supposed to give a helping hand. Even if you want to do it and the lady says, no, leave it, that is another thing. But most especially, this woman that you are talking about now, if you look at it, the wife may be senior in age to that lady.
Yes,
but because just she's a sister to the husband.
That lady is their last born, is the mama's last born.
The woman has gotten it wrong. It's not supposed to be like that. But just to make peace, when things like that happen, the woman should just take it easy. But it's not reasonable at all for things to be like that.
And especially in a Christian home.
In a Christian home. The lady coming in should see that lady as her own sister. And her own senior sister. And should try to be an assistant to her and not a burden to her. She should also remember that she's going somewhere.
Yeah.
So what she has done here, like the genesis of this mothers-in-law and fathers-in-law, love others as yourself. Do unto others what you want them to do unto you. She should remember that nemesis
is coming.
Is coming. So what she's doing to that woman, in multiples, she's going to reap where she's going. But unfortunately, some women, some mothers like that, they are the ones who will go and sit with their daughters
That is how they
in
do.
their houses.
That is how
That
they do.
nothing,
That is
no
how-
hand should just scream
But they
for
can,
them
they can do their evil with other
others.
people's children.
And if they continue like that too, God
Almighty
the judge is
will-
there.
will eventually
Because the
judge.
Bible says now we should try and establish judgments. The Lord will help us.
Amen. If really, mommy, as we're just talking, it came to my mind that okay, like that lady now, she has a senior sister. If she goes to her own senior sister's house, she cannot eat and leave plate down for the senior sister.
Even the senior sister will call her, Lagbaja, please go and help me cook. Go and help me wash plates. Help me to wash this thing. Help me to
wash
clean
up.
this house.
Yeah.
And so and not. So even before you are called, you remember there was a time we went to South